Chile Black Women in Tech for me is very special because I think if I didn't have that network, I would still be the only woman in the room. And I can see that not only there are so many amazing Black women who are talented and beautiful at the same time, who do some great, amazing things from different age group. And you are one of them. So Dionne, people don't know you. Tell us who you are.
So my name is Dionne Campbell. I'm an Innovation and Transformation Manager for a housing association. I'm also a disruptor of change and transformation, yeah.
As a Black woman being in this book, what does that mean? Why is that important?
To be fair, that means the world to me, if I'm being really honest, and that's because of my own personal journey in tech. Growing up and working in the tech industry, I was that person that was the only person in my class, the only person in my team as a woman and as a Black woman, and it was a very lonely journey. So being in that book, I know that I can then show young people that there is a place for them in the tech industry, and also because of the road and the path that I've taken, that they don't have to be from a particular background or a particular upbringing to enter the tech industry. There is a seat at the table for them.
Yeah, there's a seat at the table, and sometimes, and one thing that I say, sometimes if you're not at that table, make sure that you have people who actually speak on your behalf and be there to just bring it to the table. But as a Black woman, what do you want people to understand about being a Black woman in technology? Why do we matter? What do we need to pay more attention to what we do?
We have a voice and we have a different perception of things and the way that we can contribute positively. And also I think as a Black woman in tech, from my personal journey, I've changed the narrative. Just being a Black woman in tech, I've had people that would be astounded when I tell them that I'm in the tech industry, because they meet me, they get to know me, and don't even realize that as a woman in tech I have a personality, or I could actually be funny. Or, no, I'm very serious. I'm very serious. I've always been told, you don't look geeky. So
Yeah.
I need to look like someone that has no friends, wears glasses, hide away in a room. And then they see this outgoing person that has style, can wear clothes, match colors, and actually fix a machine. Yeah, and it just changes the narrative. So,
Yeah.
and it's a positive impact for all the people that I've met who are non-Black. And sometimes when I come up, the way that I think, it shocks them. But it's to let them know that lives inside of me. And that lives inside of a lot of us, but we're not heard.
Do you know, I resonate so much of what you say, and I think that what is frustrating that we're constantly underestimated, and we have to be like, oh, I didn't expect you to be that good. So, okay, well, what did you expect then? To be average? And I think that this, constant thing that we have to, to fight for this false narrative in terms of who we are is hopefully for the next generation, because a lot of women in this room have children. And we want to make it easy, and I think that mindset that it shouldn't be hard for us. It should just be like, hey, you know what, she's great. I'm just looking at her talent and no more than that.
I've been that person where I was telling some ladies today that when I went to a job, people wouldn't let me touch their machines. They would actually refuse me. As I picked up the phone and said I could help, they would like, no, and they would ask for my male colleague. Until I started to do some jobs that came through like the ticket system, and then they realized how efficient and quick I was, and then the narrative changed where then everyone was calling for me. But it was the fact that just at my presence, they didn't think I was capable.
That's crazy, because I'm not only resonating with that, but I like to use figures. The Black, just the Black community itself is worth about 300 billion. If more people understand exactly how much our buying power and also recognizing our power, we will have more and more of influence. So people will receive this is something that we want to broadcast to the world, but what message for someone who is not Black you want them to understand and change their mindset if it's possible?
I think to change the mindset is to realize that we've always made a contribution to this world, whether it be in tech, whether it be in nursing, whether it be inventing things, and it's about time, I would say, that you recognize that contribution and recognize that we have something to offer and we have something that is unique. And like you said, by the figures, not only do we have the buying and spending power, but we also have the influence. And we're not just influential in sports or in music, but we can actually impact in other areas. And from your book, and from meeting other people in other industry, that book shows the influence
Yeah.
that we have. That shows what we can do, and that's just the tip of the iceberg.
It's a tiny, tiny,
Yeah.
tiny thing. And we have only 51 in this book, but as we know, there's more in the digital version. And that number in the digital version will keep growing.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you one last question, and my one is my favorite one, which is legacy. How do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as the lady that has, by the people that I've influenced and the people that I've changed. And also for young children, regardless of where you've come from, what your background is, especially for young black girls, regardless of what stats or statistics they put in you, you can still do this. And do not be blanketed by a label. You are individual, you're unique, and you have power and you have strength in you, and you definitely have something to give.
I love that.
So,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
All right, that's a wrap.